Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Wednesday, October 15th, 2014. We're going to take a look at the markets. We had a lot of action here the last couple of days, especially today. We'll look at all the indicators, indices. We're going to look at some of the European stocks in addition to our BRIC countries. And we'll look at the indicators, and then we're going to look at 4 Chinese stocks: QIHU, ATHM, YOKU, and YY. All right, we're going to start off with the Dow Industrials here today. It was down 173 points, but at one point I think it was around 450 points down, and that was around the middle of the day. Actually, the first part of the day it took a quick hit. I'm going to pull something over here and pull it in. This is an intraday. It's a different software package that I'm using here, and this has got the 10-minute. This is the first 10-minute bar of the day. And these light gray lines that you see in here, this is today, this is yesterday, this is Monday. Okay, so this is the first 10 minutes, and you can see what happened. I was expecting it to bottom around 16 because of calculations I had made based on this wave structure, and it actually went beyond it. So when it did that, I was ready to start looking at getting out of my 2 put positions, and Adobe it broke, and so I was able to get out of Adobe this morning. I'll talk about that and trade ideas for sure this weekend. And then when this bounced back, then it came back down again. I believe that this what I will call bracketed third wave here, this little bracketed 3, has completed, and it completed it on it was like noontime. 20 after noon was the low. And right around in this time is when I got out of Pandora, and so I think that what we're now doing is that we're into a 4th wave, okay, and it's going to be a flat base because wave 2 back here was a very sharp pullback, okay, and wave 2 pulled back like 78.6%, almost exactly. Remember I talked about that? Okay, so now I am expecting. This is what I'm expecting. Okay, we'll see what the market gives us, but my expectation is I'm looking for a kind of a. Let me see if I can do this here. I'm expecting this like this, and then I'm expecting it to come back, and then I'm expecting it to come up again, and then it's going to turn down. So that's what I'm looking for, and we'll just see if this starts to pan out. So we'll watch the wave structure and see if we continue to give that. Let me move this out of here again. And so we're back to this. Looks like it's completed a 3rd wave down. So really, where are we? I mean, I think we're in a 4th wave that we're working. That's going to be a flat, okay? And that is, and then very soon then we'll complete this 3rd wave, which is this little I. And so we have got a series, because we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We are now completing a 5 wave structure in here. This will be number 3 completed, okay? So do I think we're again, like my post on Monday said, we're stair-stepping down. I really do believe that's what we're doing, because we have a series. Now, if all of a sudden, the counts and the wave structure could change, but right now, it's been almost picture perfect in terms of a stair step down. Now, another thing I want to point out about the Dow real quick is, see this line down here? This is where it's 10% correction from the high up here. Everybody talks about a 10% correction, that type of thing. Well, this is the number for 10% off the intraday high. So if we go back and we say, well, what were we doing back in 2007 when the market topped out? And let's go back over here. Okay, here's 2007. So here's the first move. You can see it's not nearly as sharp as what we've got right now, but here was 10%. 10.4% was the first minor wave 1. This is what I think we're working right now. I think we're working a minor wave 1 down, okay? And, the waves aren't quite as clear as this in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we got this 2 and then 3. And so we'll work our way down a series of 5 waves again that got an intermediate 1. And but right now, this is what we're working on, this first minor wave 1. And notice how when it was completed and its low down here was a 10% correction. I think we're going to get more than that now, mainly because this 10% isn't even close to the bottom of this diagonal. I honestly think when we look at a weekly chart on the Dow Industrials and the market, it almost looks like we're getting out, like we stretched a branch out really, really, really far, and we walked down on this branch until the branch couldn't hold us anymore, and now it's breaking. And when you come out of this kind of diagonal, you're gonna break pretty fast and pretty quick, and that's what we're starting to do now. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, okay, so where did the low today hit on the Dow? It got back to where we were trading in February. Okay, that's all the further we are on the Dow. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. S&P 500, continued to break down just like the Dow in here. Same type of thing, only we're like in April, like where the S&P was in April. Hasn't even taken out the April low yet on the S&P. New York Composite, a lot more damage. Notice how this minimum double top move that I had drawn in here, it hit that today. So it's gone at least the minimum. And where is the intraday low on this that it traded at today? Again, back into the February trading area, okay? And the reason I'm showing all this because we're going to see some indices here that are going to have a lot more damage. NASDAQ was only down 11 points today because it rallied back quite a bit. We'd had pretty extensive moves, and I don't know if the wave count is exactly the same in the NASDAQ it is in the Dow. I'm only working the Dow right now in terms of looking at intraday moves. But again, we had talked about how the NASDAQ broke out of this upward channel that it had in here. Something looks a little funky. I wonder if I got I got the semi-log off on that. Need to put that out. Whenever I see the trend lines not totally parallel, then I know something is off. And so the NASDAQ, where is it? It's back just where the May-April trading is. It hasn't taken out the April lows yet on the NASDAQ. So that's still one of the stronger ones. The Russell came back. Everybody's talking about that today. Like, well, wow, the Russell was up 10 points, and it is a pretty big thing given that what was going on with the rest of the markets. But the Russell has gone so far down as compared to everybody else. The Russell is, its low today is trading back where the October low was, October of 2013. So we're talking 1 year ago, and I think I mentioned that on Monday. And again, the projected move down, breaking out of this top, is all the way down here. So do I think we got more to go? Yeah, I think we probably got more to go based on the way this is acting. Let's jump in and look at Germany. Okay, the German DAX. I said on the weekend, the title of my post is Germany tops out. We got this close below the trend line, and that's why I said that. Well, okay, we had those two little, kind of pause days, and then look at the collapse today on Germany. And where is Germany trading? Germany's trading all the way back at the October, where it was in October. Now let's look at some other countries. France. France is getting killed. So we're talking about some of these European countries. France is getting killed and trading at September 2013 lows or activity. Great Britain, the FTSE. Here's an index, a country that has basically just chopped back and forth, putting in kind of a top up here. It is now closed. It closed today at Europe closes at 10:30 in the morning our time, Central Time anyway, so 11:30 Eastern Time. This is back to where things were in July of 2013. So we're talking about a year and a half's worth of top that this has broken down below. A lot of damage. I noticed that Greece today was down over 6.5%. That's a pretty good crack, if not a crash, that Greece is undergoing right now. I want to take a look at, let's take a look at Russia real quick. Russia basically hasn't, kind of gone sideways over the last week, kind of hanging in here, so it's not doing anything along with this. When I look at India, here we go. India has really not done it. It's still, doing a little bit of a correction in here, pullback. Like I think it's a wave 4. But over the last, it didn't look like it traded today. This is yesterday. At least I don't have today's action. I don't know if there's a holiday or what, but it's not cracked yet, or it's not cracking like the European and the United States are. And then China, Shanghai index is what I'm looking for. And this is held up pretty good too. I mean, this is slightly down from over. This is last Wednesday, so the last 5 days it's slightly down, but it was up today. So that's the Chinese market still in in an uptrend, not cracking. All right, let's take a look at some of the indicators. Okay, we're going to start off with the short-term trading index, if I can find it. There it is. Okay. We're still in the middle here in terms of the reading on this. We did not close because we rallied back so much. We didn't close up here at some extreme way above 2, and the 10-day is still smack dab in the middle. Okay, so we're not getting any kind of extreme close like we did even back on February 3rd, or here was March 13th. What was this? This was June. We had a reading above 2. This we had one here September 25th. But again, I think it's just because we don't have the 10-day up, like see where it was back at the end on February 3rd. So we're not getting any extreme reading on the short-term trading index. The VIX. I tweeted middle of the day when the VIX passed 30, and I mean, look how this has exploded, and look how it was up. It was up above 30. Oh my gosh! I mean, when you look at this, and it's really interesting that this Head and Shoulders, if you want to call it that, and I'm calling it that, really looks like. I mean, it looks like it actually came to pass. Here's the head, and it is well past, that projection in terms of the breakout move of that. And you can see, let me go back and let me shrink down so you can see perspective of how high this is relative to everything else today in terms of this was all of 2012. We got to go back to 2011. And the extreme selling that was going on in between August and into November, that whole episode that happened in 2011, that's the kind of level on extreme on the VIX that we are now approaching, or that we kind of hit today, and pretty much a big breakout. We'll see what continues to happen. Again, I think we may chop sideways. Back to, let me finish with the indicator. Let me go to the high-low first. Then I'll come back to the thought before I lose it. The high-low index, look how this has gone to an extreme below minus 500. We're down here at minus 596. We haven't seen 5. This is lower than where it was, in January or December, August 2013, June 2013. We actually got slightly below that. So we're down here at an extremes we haven't seen again since the 2011 huge sell-off that happened. So we're getting some extreme reading now, and we'll just have to see what happens. I don't want to get in a predictor. I'm looking at the wave count, and I think we're going to get back to the Dow. Looking at what I was looking at on the intraday waves, I think we've got about, from midday today, I think we have at least 5 hours plus of sideways action, and I think it's going to be like a flat. I think it's going to be up, down, and then up again. And so we've got the up already, and based on the other thing I was going to give you is, if I can find it, I just had it somewhere. Here it is. Based on the wave count that I'm seeing, I think the pullback, based on how strong the wave 3 was, it's already past a 23.6% retracement, and a wave 4 typically will go about 38% or so. So right now I'm looking at the next threshold. It may have topped out already today in terms of heading back down in the morning, but it may go as high as 16,295, which is, what is that? That's another 150 points or so, 150, 160 points to the upside as a part of a corrective action. So we'll have to watch and see how that plays out. So I'm watching those kind of calculations in terms of percent pullback of this move, which is going for of the third wave, which is a pretty big wave. Third wave was like 1,000 points, something like that. This third red wave in here. Okay, that's the high low. That's the other thing I wanted to look at was the XLF. That is one that really broke today. Here we go. So the financials are really breaking down. It's broken out of this trend. Of course, it did that on Friday, and then now it really gapped down. It really broke. They had a huge rally in the bonds. Interest rates went really, really low today. And of course, extremely low interest rates don't really help the banks and financials. So that's a part of it. And of course, that's all factoring in a whole lot of other things too. And I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm looking at the charts and trying to figure out what's happening. So the XLF is back down into the May trading area, May-April trading zone in terms of the intraday low today. Well below the 233-day moving average. Much less it's been below the 55 for quite a while. So, all right, that's the market action today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 Chinese stocks we've got for tonight. QIHU 360. No real change in this except for the fact, we're continuing to downtrend. We may have, this 1, 2, 3, this may be 4 and 5, and mainly I'm saying that is because we are getting some divergence, not so strong here, a little bit. It's showing up a little bit here with this last little move, okay, on the demand index, on DI minus, and on the RSI. Okay, we're getting that the RSI did not go to lower low with this price action. So in this environment, would I say come in here and jump in and buy? No, unless you got a really tight stop and you're willing to risk and put a stop right below the low down here or something like that, and you got a very short time horizon. I don't know. I still think that, we may rally and then keep coming down. If this is a big head and shoulders top, we haven't even come close to, we got about halfway to the projected head and shoulders move off of this huge top. And it is a pretty distinct, pretty clear top on QIHU 360. Okay, the next one is Auto Home. I said at home, it's Auto Home. Okay, now Auto Home looks like it's trying to turn, but the fact that the 21 broke below the 55 is kind of like the intermediate is trying to trend to the downside, mainly because of this move in here. We do have this little wedge action. It's breaking out of it. Pretty good action over the last couple of days in this stock, given what the market's been doing. So it's pretty much doing its own thing. But I'm not comfortable to say, and I don't trade options on this. So it's hard to say whether or not you're going to get an extended move or not. I would be more comfortable to get the moving averages cross. And you really get the better move when they get aligned, and I'm talking about between the 10, the 21, the 55. So it does look like it's trying to turn though on Auto Home. And the next one is YOKU and YOKU looks like it's breaking above. It's closing above the 10. And it does have some divergence that's showing up in all of the indicators. But again, this is not enough for me to jump in, given the environment that we've got. I'd like to see a couple closes, like right in here, a couple closes above it, and then, I don't know. I'm still going to be a little bit wary about it because right now the trend here is like, look, 233, the 55, the 21, the 10, everything is trending down. Okay, so it may be trying to turn, but right now it's still in a downtrend. And let's see, YY is the last one we're going to take a look at tonight, and then we're going to be done. And YY is similar, but we're not getting a close above the 10. You know, pretty big engulfing bar here today. I'm not changing. We're getting a little bit of divergence in here on, again, on pretty much all three of the indicators. It looks like maybe not so much on the DI minus. Doesn't look like we are, although the DI plus didn't continue to weaken. So it may be trying to turn too. It looks like it got support right where I had this dotted line where support came in before. Okay. You know, again, you know, looking for support and resistance, you're really just looking for points where buying came in once before. And the buying came back in again. Let me just, you know, I can just extend that to the right and you can see, you know, what happened on that on an intraday basis. Now, whether that's enough to turn this, who knows? Right now, I'm still saying and thinking that this is some kind of big ABC move. And if that's the case, then this hasn't gone down nearly enough yet, I don't believe. So we'll have to continue to watch and see if it continues to turn or not. So, all right, that's the 4 Chinese stocks. By the way, tomorrow I will be publishing another update video. I'll try to get it out before the market opens tomorrow morning, and I'll be doing that on FireEye, 3D Systems, and Stratasys. So those 3 stocks, FireEye, 3D Systems, and Stratasys, I'll have out tomorrow morning. So, all right, recap on the Dow. I'm looking for a little more sideways action on the Dow, and then another leg down. And so right now, I think we're in a little of a flat, kind of a flat correction. And we'll just have to keep an eye on it, see where we go. You know, we've had some extreme action, but you just never know how extreme it's going to get. So, all right, this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. That's it for today's video. If you felt like the video was helpful, please share it on social media. If you're not a subscriber, just click on the red box here on the screen and subscribe. You can download the free PDF I've got for you on the 5 essentials and get access to the Trade Ideas webpage. I did update the Trade Ideas. We've got all the trades out there. I am not in any Trade Ideas right now, so I am actively looking, and I haven't looked at all the stocks yet tonight. So if I find something that I think is interesting, I'll go ahead and post it on the Trade Ideas webpage tomorrow morning or by tomorrow morning. But right now, I don't have anything, I don't believe, and we'll take a look. So. All right, everyone have a great Thursday, Friday, and we will talk to you on Saturday for sure. And by the way, if there's some dramatic move, I don't know what to say here. Like, let me say just at least a 1% move. I will post a video on the website. Probably not email you, but just look for it on the website because you know I'm always sensitive to just bombarding people with emails. But if we get a 1% move or greater, I'll give a quick update on the market only. So, okay. Everyone have a great Thursday, Friday.